Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back to my shack here in Northwest Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 117. I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button. The subscribe button helps people who might have an interest in radio, DXing, ham radio, shortwave listening, things like that, to find us here on YouTube. It's a radio community. That's what we have here. So we don't put any ads here. I don't monetize. You're not going to have to face that skip ad button and then change channels. You can just stay right here. The show tells a story. Welcome to the show. Today is a Monday. It is January 4th, 2021. It used to say 2021. Haven't had to sign it yet. Interesting. Yeah, not yet. Digital age is different. Welcome to the show. We had an earlier show 117, and I had a chance to listen to it. I didn't go through all of it. I'll be honest, didn't go through all of it. And there were some things in it that I just didn't like, because I do cut the shows live. None of them are pre-produced. We all do them live, and they're all done with live viewers. You know, get the chance to communicate, we interact. That's what makes the show special, makes it very unique here on YouTube. I think that the thing that I didn't like about it that made me pull the plug on the original show was that there was so much going on that I thought was really bad in terms of amateur practice, good amateur practice. And there were call signs being said. And I don't ever want this show to be a place where people are pointed out for doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing. So I thought it was the best thing to do to say, okay, let's just cut it. Let's just forget it, move on with it, and we'll just do 117 again. So I hope you don't mind. For folks that joined us from all over the world, you have my sincere apologies. It's never my place to put somebody in a bad spot. They put themselves there by doing the wrong things. For example, when you're trying to reach a DX call, don't repeatedly say your call sign. Your call is just as important as everybody else's is. Make your call once, okay? Listen to how the person on the other end is receiving calls. For example, it could be the first one they hear, might be the last, could be someone in the middle. Learn their pattern, but don't repeatedly say your call sign. Just don't do that. It's not proper practice. It also isn't good to start a conversation in the middle of it without making sure you know the guy heard you. I thought he heard me in the middle of it. I thought I heard the K7 and N, but unfortunately Masa in Japan was just a little bit weak, and he was actually talking to someone else that had a 7 and N, and the rest of his history. Anyway, we're going to talk about something we talked about yesterday a little bit. We talked about what would you like your ham shack to be like in 2025? And somebody said that they like to be a more competent ham radio operator and also have a 991A. That was pretty cool. By the way, thanks for the thumbs up. Always like that. Anyway, so it made me think, you know, a lot of us have great radios, but how many of us go through the instruction manual? I mean, do we open the box, put the radio on the desk, and then plug it in, hook it up, ground it, get everything done, and then turn it on and start goofing around with it and learning it? Or do we open up the instructions and look at it and then learn it as we go? I've got to tell you, I'm kind of guilty of the latter more than the former. I'll give you a good example. This is a radio I've wanted for a long time, and it kind of fell into my lap. It was one of those things that was unexpected. This is an Elecraft K3, okay, and it's really loaded with some great SSB filters. It has all the good single sideband filters already installed in it, fully loaded, dual receiver. It's just a great radio in excellent condition and super strong. It's great. In fact, what's interesting is that this radio here, dual receive, this radio here, boat anchor, dual receive, and look how small it is. You know, I can see why folks use this a lot on the expeditions. It's portable, it's easy to use, and extremely sensitive and selective. This is the Elecraft K3. Now, let me show you something. You see my trick, right? It's pillowcases. They work. Keeps the dust out. All right, so the instruction manual for the K3 is very well written. It starts out here, okay? Here it is. And then you get the second one. When you get the second receiver, there's that one. And then Fred Caddy has a book And there it is. It's over 350 pages about the Elecraft K3. It's amazing. And I haven't read very much of it. I'm reading it, but I'm not deep into it yet. So, yeah. The instructions help you be more powerful through radio. You can learn so much more about its tricks, its secrets, its ability to do some really cool things are found there. So please take a look through. A lot of guys who've been in ham radio a long time, guys who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, they pour through them and they know their radios real well. And I think that's a great way we can all become better ham radio operators, myself included. Absolutely there for sure. Need to get better at the instructions. Want to thank the fine people at MFJ for sending me this neat shirt. They sent it to me because of the MFJ video I cut. I found out that was why. And I thank them profoundly for this. This was totally unexpected. I was like, holy cow, it's like Christmas in January. Thank you. Thank you very much to Mr. Jew and the people at MFJ for the kind gift. It's a wonderful polo shirt. Thank you for that. Hi, Eric. Kilo 3, Echo Lima Golf. Made that great call over the weekend to Alaska. That's always a nice one to make, Eric. That really is. Sean, East of the Cascades, welcome to the show. Sean, I think you were the one. You said the directional, and then Eric, you did too. You both said you said directional beam and an amplifier, and Sean said a beam. So I remember that. Yeah, and directionals make such a difference. First thing to get, the very first thing, get yourself on the air first. If you're a new ham, get a dipole. Dipoles are great antennas to start with. They're cheap, they're easy to install, and they work brilliantly. Get a multi-band dipole, and that'll work fine for you. Just make sure you get it up high. If it's down like 20 feet, you need higher than that, so it'll really work. But then as you get more acquainted with your gear, get yourself a nice hex beam or a directional antenna. Man, it makes such a difference because you'll hear better, but you'll also transmit better. So those are great things to keep in mind when you're getting your ham shack up and hopefully improved by 2025. And look at that instruction manual. That's a good thing too. Good evening, everybody. Okay, I'm not sure how many folks will come tonight. It's going to be a shortened show, obviously. The previous show did show how Gray Line works, especially from Japan, how it worked west. It was strong in the U.S. and then it started to go into the Caribbean as we lost the signal. That's a great example of how Gray Line works and how as it fades, not from where I am, but where the transmitting station is, how the signal starts to go away. And that's normal with Gray Line. So pay attention not only in your area to sunrise and sunset, but also sunrise and sunset in other locations as well. All right. I'm going to show you a couple of neato tricks here tonight. It's a little slow on the bands. And this is on the Icom 7300. We're going to show a couple more shows with this radio. And then we'll move over to that K3 and use that. We're still waiting on the K4 to come. I have a couple of things. I'm not quite up to speed yet. I want to get up to speed on both the STR play and this MFJ component here, which is the transmit receive switch for 1708B. Now, there were questions I had regarding this MFJ switch. First, okay, I have an amplifier, all right? If I hook this up and I hook this up, which is just a receiver only, it's not a transmitter, what kind of limitations does the MFJ product have for transmit? Make sure you stay under 100 watts, 100 watts or less, okay? Don't push it more than that. So 100 watts or less. But what's cool is you get two receivers here, which is great. The STR Play, this is a wonderful receiver. Fred, I remember Fred was asking the other day about receiving better. This might be a good example, Fred. I still like the antenna, the Wellbrook, better to get the Wellbrook on your on a radio of any kind. But if you hook this up and you use like a Wellbrook, a good receive antenna, man, the world's going to be yours. It will, because you'll be able to hear from your QTH and you'll be able to make calls better because you'll hear it on digital format that's super adjustable. I mean, this thing works not only ham bands, it works the low end, it works medium wave, it works FM, it works FM digital. How when you're in your car and it tells you what song's playing, and if you're on HD1 station, HD2, HD3 does that. Aircraft, public service bands. I mean, this thing goes up into the microwave bands and goes way below into the new bands that were given to us a few years ago in ham radio that are only for digital mode. So SDR Play. This is the DX model, and we'll go through it, but I want to get more familiar with it first. So give me a moment to do that. Also, a shout out to some people that I found out through a good friend that I made last week, Hari, in the UAE. He had these, and in radio, we called these crowns. These were mic crowns, okay? Now, in the old days, radio stations had these. Remember, they would sit on microphones like this, okay? And then that was the flag. It was the call sign. They call them flags or crowns. We always called them crowns in radio, but, they call them flags. So it's just like this, and it identifies your station. Well, the other thing that this place does, which is cool, because Hari, when he told me where he got them from, which is hamcrazy.com, free plug for them. Pretty cool. The back of the card shows the U.S. district map. That's kind of handy. If you'd like information, you can get it from help at hamcrazy.com. That's it. So they do not only the mic flags, but they also have a neat product for your license. Look at this. It's really cool. So it looks exactly like your license is printed out in the ULS database for the FCC. Take a little Sharpie pen, sign it, hang it on your wall. Looks nice. Have this in white, brass, gold, and I think black. But I like the white. Looks cool. Looks just like your license. Same exact way it looks in the ULS database for the FCC. Neat stuff. Neat stuff. Let's take a look at the rig cam real quick. We're on 80 meters right now. And I want to show you a few things on the FT. I'm sorry, I'm so used to Yaesu. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show you a few things on the 7300 that might be helpful to you. It's probably something you already know, but in case you don't, for folks that might want to know how to better find weak signals with them, this might help you. Just a second. Okay, so as you can see from the waterfall, I've got a lot of repeating RFI here, and that's just digital modes too. You're going to see a lot of digital modes there too. So we have some RFI and digital modes kind of going through there, but the waterfall is real cluttered. See that? See if I can maybe make the light. Is this better? Let's see if it will. A little bit. That's much better. Okay. Now you can see it a little better. All right. So on the 7300s, your filtering is always done from a knob that's over here. Okay. That's how you adjust. And you saw that in the last show, how I was able to kind of, massage the pass band back and forth, either the high cut or the low cut filter. All right. And if you ever want to put it back, hold it in, goes back to the beginning. All right. If you go into the second set of menus here, you go second into reference. This is where your waterfall intensity up here, which is this green line. So this is the signals, the intensity of the signals up here. The waterfall, remember, is the time domain. So for folks who are getting ready for their test, either the technician, the general, or the extra, remember, time domain time domain is here, and the signals are up top here. That's where they are. So we have a signal right over here. You can kind of see it. But what about the weak signals? Right now, the reference level is set to 2.5, and this will change, okay? This is going to change depending upon the conditions outside, okay? The conditions for the radio. Now we really lost focus. My goodness. This happened earlier, too, and I was like, what happened here? Maybe some light, see if that might help us here a little bit. Well, we can see it's an Icom. That's nice. It's always handy. And there's my hand, and there's the radio. The magic of hand. Okay. So you have your reference frequency right there. And what we're doing, we're just adjusting the waterfall. Now I'm going to turn this off, and hopefully it's not going to mess things up again. Hang on. All right. So as we turn the VFO, you're going to see the waterfall change. If we increase it, okay, if we increase it, so now if you take a look, we're at a reference level of minus 2.5 dB. If we turn the VFO up, okay, it's going to get much more blue, okay? See that? Okay, and to some people that might look good because, it's really bright. You can see maybe like the big signals right there, right? You can see all that. There's another one over here. You can see all that. But weak signals don't show up well. So what you do is you just simply turn the reference level down, but you don't want to lose the intensity, the signal intensity up top. You don't want that to happen. So as you turn it down, just kind of watch it carefully. And then you're going to start, once you start to see the green disappear, you've went a little too far. See? See how the green's going away at the top? Okay, we don't want the green to go away. We don't want to lose it because those are our signals. See, now they're almost gone. So we bring it back up. Green comes back, and we're going to start seeing the waterfall come back. Okay. Now, if you take a look, if you get to something like about right here, just so it's like a light fall, and keep in mind, 80 is really a very loud band, always very loud. So there's a lot of noise on 80. Okay, this is typically a noisy band, especially on a vertical antenna, which hears everything. So if we have it maybe right about here, it's a little easier to find the weaker signals because you're going to be able to see their trails better and a little bit of their intensity without being overwhelmed by too much. So we just move the camera again on you, sorry. We just go back to the exit and we end up with the waterfall. Okay, now we'll tune around and we'll see what we can hear with the radio here. This again on 80 meters. And the timer up there is the Pacific time zone. Okay, let's go over here. Now close together. Okay, now the other thing too, you can take some of the hash out, filtering.
I heard that they wouldn't even let him X-ray him. He said he was playing regardless, not to even bother with X-raying him.
Okay. Don't want to lose both sides if you can help it. Now here's where having a high parametric receive helps. Listen, if I reset it back to regular 3 kilohertz passband, listen how this helps. All I did was just change the mid-range. Turn it up. And again, if we introduce more mid, we're going to get more of the static. Hear it? See, we're just adjusting the mid-range. So we're doing just adjusting the mid. So it's a really nice trick. Again, hand. Poor camera. It's having a hard time because it's going into a real dark spot. Because what this is, just to give you an idea, this is where the 101 sat. So this is the spot for my main radio. And the 7300's there, which is fine because it's a fine radio, no problem. But, you know, it's set up for a bigger radio. So let's tune around here a little bit on 80. We'll see what we can pick up. Conditions are not super tonight, so... Oh, you know what? Hold on to. I'll change here in a second. We're going to make a little change here in a moment here. We're going to bring the reference up just a little bit. Again, we're not going to bring it down. We're going to go closer to 0. See what happened? There's a signal. Okay, here's a great example. Hear the carrier. Hear that low hum, right? Notch. Just a little area takes it out. That's what notch filters do. It helps to eliminate carriers. So when you have a carrier that's causing some trouble, you can adjust to a wider width, which means you've got a little more area to work with when you use the notch. There's the carrier. Hear it coming in again, the hum. Okay. Take it back out. There you go. So this is how it works. Again, another signal over here. It's also a great time of day to check on 160. We'll do that before we stop. Again, keep in mind, 80 and now we're on 75 because we're above 3750 are loud bands. They just have more atmospheric noise to them. And as you go up, you can kind of see how the screen gets darker. Okay, as we go down, there's just more. It's just because the screen needs to be reset as it goes. That's all. It's typical. Now, let's go to top band. Let's see what it looks like there on 160 tonight. Big signal there. Find a lot of people who've been in radio a long time love top band.
It could be. I'm running the amp tonight on sideband, but probably the hum wouldn't appear on here. But it might. So I may have to do a little more checking on that. We'll play it by ear and see what happens. But I doubt it's your Orion, that's for sure. Well, yeah, when I was, many years ago, when I was tuning up on them antennas there on the old pickup.
Again, reference.
For some reason I touched the...
Change the waterfall.
There, the cover of the coil. And I could feel the warmth on it. It wasn't hot. And it was barely warm, but you could tell it was a difference.
See the green filling in up top?
With 100 watts. And, of course, I probably...
And you start to see signals tracing down more now. Now, you might ask the question, why would someone do that? Why would you have to keep setting that reference? The reason why is because each band has its own set of sound. It does. I mean, like 80, especially very loud. 160 can be pretty loud. So you have noise on those frequencies. So you will have to readjust that. But based on conditions, you're going to have to kind of fiddle a little bit with it. That's part of working a radio. That's why. So let's go back. We'll take a listen. Always fun to listen to.
At the time and other places, and it worked out okay. But I'm not sure what frequency we were on. We may not have been completely down in the CW band. May have been in
make it a little quieter.
In the sideband portion of the band. And I don't know. It might be that coil was really designed for the AM or the voice portion of the band.
Have another signal here. This is a great power of the 7300. Find the signal, click right on it. That's one of the nice things about the 7300. You find a signal, you point on it, you click twice to tune in.
What could we substitute? Rastafarians or somebody? Yeah, if we don't get this election thrown out and showed for what it was, we might not ever have another honest election in this country.
So that gives you an idea exactly how this works. You know, go over here. Should be FT8. Yep, FT8. Don't blow your ears out. We'll get off there. Sorry. So it's a really nice way to be able to tune quickly. Another signal here. I think we started here originally. But it's a really good way to point and click and get right on a frequency. Another one right next to it. Now listen to the notch come in. Listen. Hear that? We took it out. That carrier's gone now. Makes it nice. A lot of adjustability, the 7300. I know the 7300 kind of gets a bad rap from folks, and I think unfairly, because, you know, I don't know if it's because it's small. I don't know if it's because it's Icom. I'm not sure what it is. I can tell you that the folks at MFJ use strictly Icom radios, and they're not just 7300s. There's, gosh, they've got 756 in there. I remember seeing a 735. Man, not 735. It wasn't that. It was 7100. And then, of course, 7300s. And then they're inside their main shack there that they use at the station. They have a Flex 6600. So, yeah, it's really a radio that a starter radio or even someone in ham radio could get into and learn. Just grab the instructions and learn, because it will help you greatly. A lot to learn there, a tremendous amount. And one of the things I like, I will say better than the 101, and this is just my own opinion, yours may vary, but I like colors. I like to be able to adjust my colors. I can tell you on the Yaesu, on the 101, I don't know on the 10. I haven't used the 10 up close, but if it's using the same operating system that the 101 did, I can tell you that if you hold this button down here, which says, basically it's expand or set, okay? You hold it down and it gives you a set of ways to adjust your scope, okay? And what I love about this is, you see, colors. You can adjust whatever color you want at all on your radio. You can make it any color you want. So for example, let's say instead of that green, okay, that we had for the intensity, okay, let's say that we bump the green out. Say we move it from green, let's make it to orange, okay? Make it orange. Whoops, wrong color. Sorry, red's up here. So we go to orange, nice bright orange color right there. We hit back again, and there it is, okay? You can really see it when you hit the reference and bring it up. See? Turn the light out so you can see better. So see, there's the orange. Now it's in a different color. Now that's something I really like about this radio that I didn't see on the Yaesu products. Yaesu products have a set of pre-colors. The 101s do, I'm assuming the 10. I have to say assuming because I didn't use one yet. But if it's like the 101s, they have a set of preset colors that you can use. You can't infinitely adjust the colors to exactly what you want. I like green. I do. Green, I think, for intensity is very handy. You know, whatever color you like. And then you can use the fill color, whatever you want there. And then you can make your waterfall whatever color you want there too. So it's fully adjustable. That's something I really like about the 7300, the 9700, and the 7610. They all three do the same thing in that respect. Very adjustable, infinitely adjustable for your scope. The other thing I think that I really like about this, after having it a second time, is really appreciating more of the filtering. You know, some people like it. I'm a person that says, you know, it's not bad. I mean, I look at the cost of the radio. Let's listen to it as we filter it. This is again 160. Back to 3.
To beware of the military-industrial complex, and nobody paid attention.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, you know, yeah, he was maybe a true American, but, you know, all these phony baloney wars that we lost without consequence
And see, now the bandwidth has been lowered without crystal roofing filters. This is where SDRs have made a big difference. No crystal roofing filter needed. It does it automatically just by software. So there it is. Okay, so right now we're listening to this off of a 2 kilohertz bandwidth. Sounds narrow, obviously, because it's only 2, but we can widen it back. There's 2.5. And bring it back to 3. Hold it in.
about them in the first place.
And so if we want to bring this back to green, just go to that color. We're going to drop this back out, bring it back up all the way, and we're back. Green. Pretty simple at the top. So you can see up top the green there, and it's a nice green intensity. Yeah, Icom 7300. It's a neat little radio. I really like it. And I don't want to pre-produce and show here. I like to do them live because we get a chance to speak with each other and hang out. I like that. The other thing I really like is I'd rather know something a little better before I present it to you, because I just feel that would be stupid. No. So I do want to get more acquainted with this SDR play. This is the DX model. I had the one, the original. The DX is different. It's got a better dynamic range to it than the one had. It's really improved for HF, so it's great. If you're looking for a good receiver, this is a good one. And it gives you the ability to hook up your existing superhet and use a waterfall and be able to put on a monitor. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, goes right into your computer, run from your computer out into a monitor, or you can just use your computer as the monitor. Either way, it works fine. But yeah, it's simple. SDR Play, this is the DX. When you buy it, it connects right up to SDR Uno, which is a free program. Makes it nice. So we're going to be doing that here on the laptop that is charging right here. Let's take a look at your comments here. Hi, Sean. Good to see you again. Glad you're still here. Pulled the trigger on the 7300 and love it. It's an amazing receiver. Have it sitting right in front of me right now. I like it too. I really do. I just think that it does so many good things. There's a reason why it's going to Hawaii with me in about a month and a half, because it's solid. It really is. Look at all the signals now, 160. Take a look at this. Look at this. Now those may seem like RFI. We'll see if they are. I don't think they are. Let's look. It's just getting busy. So let's let it calm down a little bit. One here. Again, easy to adjust. Just easy. And, simple. It's something you can use and get comfortable with and enjoy right away. Makes it nice. Another right here. Could be your FT8. And some CW down there. But yeah, and I love the progressive tuning. Rock it right fast back up to where you were. I like that. Makes it nice. So yeah, Icom 7300, I think it's a winner, under $1,000. It's a great radio, and what it can do for you, 100 watts out, similar to the 7610, similar to the 101D, but it's under $1,000. Think what you can buy. I always like to think of the money left over. Like if you have let's say, for example, you've got $3,000 to spend. Okay, yeah, you could buy it, maybe a 7610, right? Buy a new one, and that'd be great. It's a great radio, dual receiver. Do you need 2 receivers? First question. Do you need them? Okay, if you don't, now you can get the radio. There's $1,000. Okay, now you can buy a good vertical antenna. There's $600. So now you're at $1,600. Now you can go out and buy yourself an amplifier. Yeah, get yourself an 811H for about $1,200. You're still under $3,000, and you have a good vertical antenna, and you have an amplifier. Put you half a full legal limit, more than half. That same money. Yeah, that's what makes this so desirable to people, because they can build a pretty powerful station around it, because it doesn't set them back so far to begin with. And this is coming from a guy that's buying a K4, okay? Very expensive radio. It's not because I'm wealthy, it's because I was hit by a car, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to. That's the honest truth. Should be here hopefully in just a few weeks. That'll be nice. Daniel, nice to see you. Welcome to the show. First time I remember seeing your name, Daniel. Thank you. Hello from Canada. Enjoyed your MFJ tour. Keep it all. Thanks, Daniel. Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar. Daniel, that means a lot to me. Thank you very much. I mean that sincerely. They gave me the shirt for that. Yeah, they said that they've had nice response from the video that was done. That meant a lot to me. That was cool. A lot of work went into that. I gotta tell you, I was up all night pre-producing that, because I wanted to make sure it was right when I made the show, because it was all done live. So thanks, Daniel. Thank you. Guys, I'm going to cut that short. I just didn't want to leave the original show 117 up, because I don't ever want to put people in a bad light. I would feel terrible if somebody that, you know, was maybe in a moment they were so excited to get a DX call, and maybe they aren't used to getting them, or maybe they just don't make many of them, right? And they're heard in a way that maybe isn't really good practice by continually pounding their call sign out there to try and get the person to notice them, and then have a YouTube video on it. That would be awful. I couldn't do that to somebody. It's just not the right thing to do. So that's why the video's not there. So if you commented, if there's something that was on there, please understand that's why it's not here anymore. And that's why it was replaced with this show. Okay, we'll do another one that'll show gray line and how it works, because it works the same way every day. We just need good conditions. Usually it starts in the west, and as the gray line moves away from the destination location, the signals will slowly fade. On 20 meters, it takes a little longer, so you've got a longer time to work. 40 is shorter. 40 is going to be maybe a half hour. 20 could be an hour post sunrise. It's true. When you get to 40, about a half hour, 20 minutes to a half hour, depending upon time of year and sunspots. And then you get to 80, could be 15 minutes to 20. On 160, could be a very, very short window. Sometimes just a few minutes. So, and as the sunspots come up, things will improve. So before you know it, for younger hams, when we get the sunspot numbers back up, 20 will be open 24/7. Yeah, you'll be make calls 24/7 on the 20-meter band at night. It's going to be fun. So get ready. Next few years should be real fun in ham radio. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's a pleasure to do the show and an honor to meet all of you. I enjoy reading your emails and getting your QSL cards, and I've got a few to share with you in the next show. So we'll look forward to doing that. Until tomorrow, 73 from Oregon. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. We don't do any ads here. Not going to have to hit the skip ad button. There's no monetization. All I ask, please subscribe. It'll help people who might have an interest in maybe learning about radio to find the channel. Thanks profoundly for watching. Until next time, good night, everybody.